Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Books, Buddies, and Blanks, the book club podcast for the people who want to read but also feel like they just don't have the time, and where you get points for trying. We're your hosts, Theresa.
And I'm Maggie, and on today's episode of Books, Buddies, and a new book, Theresa and I are picking a new book to read together. Because we finished one.
We did. We finished one.
Did it take us a few months? Yes.
Yeah,
but that's the point of this show.
We're taking it real slow. That's what we do.
I have to say, when you introduced the show, it is easier for me to, tell when the streaming thing is on.
Yeah.
Because, I don't see your screen when you put us into stream.
Yeah, right? It's all vocal cues from me, which can be very confusing on your part. I totally get that.
Oh yeah, I'm going first. So here's what we're doing.
Uh-huh.
Theresa and I, of course, it's not necessarily a TBR list. I don't really believe in TBR lists, being someone who quite literally chooses a book on a whim.
Yeah, it's bad.
Maybe I have a book planned out that I want to read during a certain season. Usually I have a classic Russian literature book picked out for the winter, because that's just when I want to read classic Russian lit. But that's as far as I'll go. Anyways, so in this, we do have a list of books of oh yeah, these are books that we've always wanted to read. Pretty much all classic.
Or books we have read and just want to reread,
Yeah, some of them we have read.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So in order to make things easier on us, being indecisive people,
Yeah, it's us.
we decided to pick 3 books each and present them to each other, and then we will pick whichever book out of those 6 to read next.
Yeah.
I will go first.
Yes.
All right.
Present your argument.
Keep in mind, after this book, we will be reading the Aeneid.
We will.
And the Aeneid, much like the Iliad and the Odyssey, is going to be pretty long and intense.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
my thinking with my choices is short, fun, adventurous, because it's summer and it's pretty nice. Even though it's hot and humid, I like being outside.
Same.
And so that's where I'm coming from. Option number 1, which will be a reread for you, but a new book to me.
Yeah.
Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare.
Oh, okay.
I have watched She's the Man with Theresa a couple of times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such an iconic early 2000s
Amanda
movie.
Bynes and Channing Tatum? Absolutely.
That phone flip. I still think about the phone flip.
The phone flip all the time. Just a flip of the head. It's so good.
Also,
it's iconic. Well, please tell me there's a gif of that.
The level of the level of chemistry between Olivia and Amanda Bynes when she pretends to be her brother.
Oh my god, yes. For Pride, that would be a great book to read.
I don't think that movie intentionally wanted it to be so coded.
I mean, that's
watching it as an adult, I'm like, I totally can see that happening.
I mean, not to spoil anything about the book, but it is based off, or the movie is based off the book or play. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole bait, is that she's pretending to be her brother, and then Olivia falls in love with her. It's like a weird love triangle, because she's in love with the Duke, but the Duke thinks she's a dude, and the Duke's in love with Olivia. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, and it's a mess, and I love it.
But it's something fun, something short, something sweet, and it's a comedy.
It is a comedy.
I feel like we need a comedy after Homer.
Okay, woman, I found a gif of it and I just sent it to you.
Gosh.
It's so good!
Hear me?
Oh, I miss flip phones. Only for that reason.
I mean, I'm the kind of person that buys a phone and will have it until it breaks down.
No, same.
And so because I already have a phone,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to invest in a flip phone.
No,
Just
no.
I mean, it's very tempting because of the purposes of this GIF.
Of
GIF.
drama.
Uh, it's so dramatic. But anyways, okay. Option number 2.
Okay.
2 and 3 are actually kind of similar, but
Same.
different vibes.
I have a theme too.
Okay. Second one. As you know, my favorite Disney movie of all time is Treasure Planet.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
have never read the source material for Treasure Planet, which
Neither have I.
is Treasure Island by
Yeah.
Robert Louis Stevenson.
Oh, I also have that book.
I recently got it. Actually, I didn't recently buy it. I bought it a couple years ago at a secondhand shop.
Oh. I think I got
How is it
mine.
that I've only gone book shopping like once a year for the past couple of years?
Yeah, you gotta save that money.
Oh my gosh. And they've been at secondhand bookshop. Well,
Yeah.
one wasn't, but
Mhm.
I was getting a gift for someone. So that doesn't
Oh.
count.
Okay.
The third book, going with that short, sweet feeling of adventure. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Which,
Oh.
for Teresa and I, our favorite Jackie Chan film is Around the World in 80 Days. And that movie in particular is what got us into reading Jules Verne.
It really did.
It's
Really
like
did.
that movie is responsible for my obsession with Jules Verne.
And 20,000 Leagues was really good. It was really good.
What? The movie?
No, the book.
Okay, we were talking about movies, and
I
I'm
know.
like, what?
I was just
The movie
saying, like,
was terrible.
No, that movie was terrible. No, I was just talking about how, like, the movie
Weird.
Around the World in 80 Days was a great movie, and that got us into Jules Verne with 20,000 Leagues, which was awesome. So, like, I'm convinced Jules Verne just writes really good stuff, period.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel with 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, there was such a, like, an observation of human nature in the most direst of situations, and then looking at the psyche of a person that once, and how they just essentially build their own hell
Yeah.
to shut themselves away from the world
Yeah.
completely. It was,
It
and
was
then how that
very
affects the
interesting.
people, and how that affects the people around him.
Yeah.
If you want to read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, I would recommend getting both the audio and the physical book.
Yeah. The audiobook's pretty good. I really enjoyed
Because
it.
it is also part natural history survey, and Verne will list those species.
Yeah. He's really good at that. He's really good at just being like, hey, forget everything else. What if I just list fish? What if I just list them to you? We'll get back to the story, I promise. But the
So many
fish.
things because of this. I am not an ichthyologist
No.
by any means. I barely know my Caribbean fishes because I had to for a class.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh. It kind of makes you think because Jules Verne pretty much nailed submarines before
Oh, yeah.
submarines were even a thing.
Mhm.
Like, I think that it just solidifies that he's pretty much a genius.
Yeah. Nah.
He was a lawyer in Switzerland. Like,
That's pretty much just the peak. It's amazing. Peak.
anyways.
Also, I will say.
Round About the 80 Days,
Yeah.
Treasure Island,
Yeah.
and Twelfth Night.
Mhm.
Those are my 3 choices.
Okay.
I will put them in the chat so that we can keep track.
Okay. Thank you. One last note on Jules Verne in 20,000 Leagues is I think Pride. I think June is the month that we start doing that idea we had about doing quotes from books and just being like, Were they gay or not? We'll never know.
I don't want to do that.
I think it'd be fun. I want to call it gay or nay, and I'll just put a quote, and I'll be like, do you guys think this quote comes from two queer individuals, or do you think these are two totally straight people?
I mean, considering the time period that all of these books were written in, all those individuals were written to be straight.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But then I could sprinkle in actual gay literature. So you see, I'm promoting gay literature while also promoting classics.
Theresa, I don't want to do this.
Aw, I think it'd be fun.
I don't want to do this. I just want to talk about. I don't want to do that.
No, it's fine. We don't have to do that. I think it'd be fun.
But no, the chemistry between the professor and Captain Nemo.
It was so weird.
It was, first of all, it was so weird, and second of all, it was an abusive relationship.
Oh, it was like 100% Stockholm syndrome. Like nothing about that was okay. Be
it wasn't
platonic or romantic. It was bad.
Actually, you know when people are like, "Oh, I want to read something like Achilles and Patroclus," that is actually like.
I see
that is actually like Achilles and Patroclus.
Yes, I see your Achilles and Patroclus, and I raise you a Nemo and Arano. Like, come on, they're worse. I promise you. Jeez, yeah, no.
That's like, because like sometimes I think people say, like, you know how like people are like, "Oh, I want something sapphic," and it's like, it's actually more specific than that when you say something like that. It's like,
yeah.
Not just you're not just saying, "Oh, I just want something queer." It's like, no, there's a very specific tone in that relationship.
Yeah. It's like being like, I want to read more sapphic romance like Carmilla, and it's like, yeah, okay, but do you? Do you want more of that? Because it's not healthy. It's not a good relationship. I think you just want to read 50 Shades of Grey. Just do it. Just stop beating around the bush.
No.
I know what you want. No. Go get it.
That's awful.
It is absolutely awful.
Do not promote that piece of shit on this channel, Theresa.
No, I'm not going to promote it. It was terrible. I read it. It was god-awful. But I will say...
I don't even know why you read it in high school.
Because I was curious. That's why I do 90% of the things I do is curiosity.
Yeah, sometimes I think... I will give you the benefit of being in high school, because I also read shit in high school. I mean, not that level of shit, but I also read other shit.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but I had to see it through. I was like, I had this like compulsion with completion, and like I had to finish it, even though it was terrible. I was like, I have to finish it. Yeah, I'm not promoting it in any way. It was terrible, but I will say that I would rather people just go out and consume that stuff than try to bring that stuff into my literature, right? Like, keep it over there. Keep it where I don't have to be bothered by it. Don't try to bring it into more of my good books.
Bro,
leave it over there.
We know this is a button to be pressed, and we need to move on.
It is.
I am resisting the button pressing because I've ranted to you about this before.
We ranted a lot.
And you know that rant takes a long time.
Yeah, it does. All right, I'll do mine. Where's my sticky note? I have a sticky note. Because I was like, I need to keep myself on track. Okay, so I also want to do something that was a little light, a little less serious. So, right. So the first one I'm going to suggest is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, because it is a kind of a satire almost. It is a satire. It's a satire on Gothic fiction. We're also having this like romance, and it's Jane Austen. And it's got a little bit of a mystery vibe, right? Because it's a satire on Gothic, so it's kind of fun. The next one is of the same genre, Jane Eyre. I have not read that in many, many years. Really?
Light and fun? That was what you were going with?
Right, because Jane Eyre, to me, is like so unserious. I know it is, but is it? Like, it's so unserious to me.
I started reading Jane Eyre in middle school,
Yeah.
and because I read Wuthering Heights in middle school.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I
Oof.
started reading Jane Eyre after that for fun.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it is bleak.
Oh God, yeah, no, it's bleak. But it's okay. I guess to
It's not
me,
not just because of what it's famous for.
yeah.
Like, I didn't finish the book because, like, it's just only word I can describe the Bronte books that I've read
Oh,
is
Bronte. Yeah.
just gray.
No,
You know, like
it's
Ohio.
yeah,
It feels like
no. It is. It's like if Ohio was a book genre, it'd be whatever the heck Charlotte Bronte was doing.
if you put
Um,
Ohio into book vibes.
oh my God, you're so right. You're so right.
Wait, where are the Bronte sisters from? I feel silly
I
for
feel
asking.
like they're British.
I feel like they're British too, which
Mm.
would be extra hilarious to me. They
Because
are
like, because
British.
England's very
I knew they
Ohio.
were British. I knew they were. I like had a feeling they were
Yeah.
British. I just never looked it up specifically.
Yeah, and they're definitely like Ohio is very England coded. Like it's
Not
very
really.
similar.
Well, Central Ohio, not so much. Appalachian
Well,
area,
yeah.
more so.
Yeah.
Central Ohio is more immigrant coded.
Because when my sister moved, she was like, "Yeah, it's very similar to Ohio. This is like the same place." I'm like, "That's a bummer.
We just
Bummer."
too loud.
It's essentially the same. All right, and the last one I have is "And Then There Were None" or "10 Little Indians" by Agatha
Oh, I've
Christie.
already read. I've already read it.
I have two, but it's so good. And I was like, I haven't read this in years. I read it in middle school, and I was like,
Oh,
this was so good.
why are two of the books that you picked some of the dreariest
They're
books?
not dreary. They kind of have a little
And then there were
mystique to
none is
them.
100%
It's a
dreary.
murder mystery. It's
It's on
fun.
a gray island. People are getting picked off. It's a
Yeah.
psychological horror. You said
Yeah. Look, I wanted a little bit of mystery. All three of them have mystery elements, and they're all written by women.
let's do Treasure Island.
Damn. I thought I came with a good argument. I was like, it's women, it's mystery, it's fun.
You of all people should know that just because something is done by a woman does not mean that I'm going to pick it.
Okay, but all three of those books are good books.
I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that all three of them aren't good books.
They're all
I am not
great
inclined to
writers.
read and then I will
Yeah.
eliminate and then there were none just because I already know what happens and that was kind of the
Okay.
whole point
You
of
know,
wanting to read
that's
it.
fair. That is one where it's
It's
kind of
like
like a
once you
second read
know
through isn't quite the same.
so like when I read it in middle school, you're held in such suspense because you really don't know what's going
Really
on.
don't.
And then that's kind of the allure of the book and the allure
Yeah.
of the story is that you don't know what's going on. And then as
Mhm.
you keep going through, it gets crazier and crazier until you find out what happened.
Yeah.
And then once you read the book, finding out what happened, it's just kind of a boring book to me.
It is true. I think I'm still gonna reread it because I want to, but this is a good time to plug it. Come on, guys, read that book. It's really good. I would
It is a
say
really,
I would say it's maybe Agatha Christie's best.
probably.
I do enjoy the ABC Murder, but 10
I've
Little...
only read two. I have actually only read two Agatha Christie's.
Oh.
I have read The Orient Express,
Yeah,
Murder on the Orient Express,
that
and
is a
then None Lower Down.
classic.
I mean, they're both
Yeah.
famous for a reason.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I have to say I'm really not inclined to reread that. But
Okay,
thank you
that's
for
fine.
proposing it.
No, it's good. It's good. It's okay. I think it makes sense because yeah, reading it. I think I just wanted to get more people to read it.
Do you want to come up with a third one?
Um,
Another title?
No, I stand by Northanger Abbey and Jane Eyre, and I like your options too. Like, honestly, Twelfth Night, I'm kind of vibing.
I'm kind of vibing with 12th Night. Like the one I don't want to like knock your choices. It's just your choices feel more fall to me.
They
Does that make
do. They
sense?
do. In retrospect, they're definitely more fall, and I think it's because in my brain, I'm like October mode all year round. That's just my vibe.
You are.
And so I'm
You
like, oh,
like
right.
if you were to see us in real life, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like that one meme I sent you. It's like, God forbid a girl have a best friend, and it's Maleficent and Princess Aurora.
Yeah. That's us.
That's us.
That's us.
I'm Princess Aurora. Teresa's Maleficent.
Oh, for
She
sure.
actually has a crow. She even has a crow cane.
I
Like,
do. It's got a little crow skull on it, and I named
and I have a
him.
pink dress.
Yeah, you have a pink dress. I don't have a pink dress. I have a black dress. I also have a really fun wrap that has like fur on it. It's black. It's really pretty. It's fake fur, but it's very pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
but that's kind of our personalities
yeah.
in a nutshell.
No, 100%. That's us.
Friendship in a nutshell. Except, fortunately, you don't try to poison me and kill me.
Yeah. No, I didn't do that. It didn't. It could
And I
though.
always invite you to everything, so you
You
don't feel
do. You
spurned.
invite me to everything, and so I'm like, yay! I don't have to
Even when I know
spitefully
you
curse
probably
you.
aren't going to come or don't like it.
Yeah. All good.
Mhm.
Okay.
But yeah, I totally get your taste,
Yeah.
though. I see where
Yeah.
you're coming.
Yeah. No,
I
I like
I
your
don't
options
want to
though.
like I just didn't want to like it to seem like, oh, your options. I'm just no. I think you came up
Yeah.
with very good
Yeah.
options.
I think
It's just
yours.
I'm in such a summer mood right
Yeah,
now
yours have a
since it's
lot more whimsy.
Tuesday.
It's a lot more like whimsy to your options. Mine are more like curl up with a good cup of tea while it's
It's
raining.
storming outside. I actually
Yeah.
did wake up to a storm this morning.
Oh,
Like that's the
nice.
vibes those are bringing.
Yeah. And I as much as I love Treasure Island, I kind of just don't want to do another boat one right now.
That is
Oh
valid.
my God, I don't want
That
to do
is
another
actually very
boat.
valid.
You're just on a boat for 20 years. No more boats. All right.
Technically, it was only for 10 years. And maybe
Right.
another year to get to Troy.
Right.
But,
Because 7 years he was stuck on that island with Calypso.
oh yeah.
Anyway.
So really, it's probably only like 2.5 years that he was on the open ocean. And then he got stuck on Calypso. And
Yeah.
then, wait, no.
Because it's 20 years.
Probably even shorter. He
Yeah.
really didn't spend a lot of time on the boats.
He spent a lot of time on islands. Just
It was
vibing.
really more island hopping than
It was
anything
really a lot
else.
of island hopping. Dude, could you imagine if he
I
got stuck in an archipelago? We've been
I've actually
screwed.
gone island hopping
I
in an
know you
archipelago
have.
before.
And you ate guinea pig.
Okay, that wasn't in the archipelago. That was in the Andes mountain range.
I will say, every time we see a guinea pig, James points at it and goes, Maggie could eat one of those. It's so,
It
so
doesn't.
messed up.
Okay, you know what, Teresa?
Yeah.
The people of Ecuador, like our hosts, were so
Yeah.
kind
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
generous.
That's totally, I
And
get it.
it was considered a delicacy, and it was
Yeah.
so special that they prepared that for us. It was a
Yeah.
shut up and eat it and be polite.
Oh, for sure.
Sometimes you need to just eat it and be polite.
Unless
You
it's
gotta know
bread.
when to suck it up.
Unless it's bread.
You gotta know when to suck it up, Buttercup.
Except
People
with.
are being kind to you. You don't, it doesn't matter if you don't like it.
So, what if it's bread?
Okay, that's why the French hate me, Teresa.
Yeah, yeah. You're just really, really rude all the time, and they don't get it. They're like, why does she hate us in our bread?
I don't. Your bread hates me.
That's fair. Well, no, it's more that your body hates bread. Your body's like, this is evil, poison, bad.
I'm genetically programmed to not
Yeah,
eat bread.
yeah.
Like,
Bummer.
yeah, that's just the reality. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I
unfortunate,
am
fortunate.
French too, which is kind of the irony of it.
That is
I'm actually
funny.
quite I'm actually quite French.
I'm
I'm French on both sides of my family.
I'm
Like a little bit, not a whole lot, but because it's both sides, I'm actually a bit French.
just very Irish and very like Netherlands
I'm
region.
mostly Spanish, actually. Mostly
Yeah.
Spanish, English, Irish, Scottish, French, couple dashes of Danish and German.
Yeah. I like potatoes. So that
I
vibes with
love
me.
potatoes.
Potatoes are great.
I my favorite snack is just plain potato chips. It tastes so good to me.
I like to buy little tiny potatoes from the grocery store, and then I just quarter them, toss them in some like olive oil, salt and pepper, toss them in the air fryer. So good. Such a good snack.
My I'll cut potatoes into fries and bake them in the oven.
That is also really good. Homemade French fries are so good. I started making them, and I'm like, man, fast food French fries are stupid. They're
Okay,
bad.
I said that, and then when I went to visit our friends, it was a full day of traveling for me because apparently traveling to a certain area of the world, even though it's not that far from Ohio, requires me to get up at 4 in the morning, and I didn't get there until like 3 in the afternoon, and
Uh-huh.
I can't eat airport food.
Oh
And
God.
so I like went a whole day without a full meal.
Oh.
So when I got to Five Guys, which is one of the only
Oh,
restaurant chains
Five
that is
Guys.
actually like safe for me to eat at,
Yeah.
I hadn't had Five Guys in over a year, and I scarfed that down
Dude.
like nobody's business. It tasted so good to me. And my
Yeah.
mom's like, "Didn't you just say you weren't gonna eat that again?" I'm like, "Yeah," and then I kind of starved a little.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. And that means a
Truly.
bag full of fries.
I even broke Lent because I
Oh!
was so hungry. I was eating meat on Friday.
God forbid. Literally.
God understands.
Yeah, God's cool. He's chill about it. He's like, I get it. You gotta eat.
But yeah, no. I love potatoes so much.
Yeah.
Potatoes originated in the Andes mountain range.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
Mountain potatoes.
the South American peoples from the Andes are the first to domesticate it. There's so many different species of potatoes in that area alone.
I mean, yeah.
It's so I mean, of the mountain ranges that I've been to, which have been quite a few at this point,
That's cool. I wish I could go to the
um,
mountains.
the Andes is probably my favorite so far. They're so cool. And most of them are volcanoes, so maybe that's why I think they're so cool.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Volcanoes are pretty cool.
Like Ecuador was one of a travel reporter from like the either the 20th century or the late 19th century, like coined the term Valley of Volcanoes.
Oh, that's
Like,
dope.
what an epic name.
That is pretty intense. And I like that.
I'd love to go back and visit again. You know, when it's like I have the means and I'm able to.
Yeah.
It's actually South America is easier to travel around celiac than some parts of the US.
That makes sense. So.
Because a lot of like super traditional food before this because the Spanish were the ones who introduced wheat to the culture. So if
Hmm.
you're like eating super traditional food, a lot of it's already gluten-free.
Yeah. That's cool though. It's good to know that
It's
there are places you
I
can
love
go.
it. Oh, it's so great. I love traveling.
I wish I had the money to travel. It's
Yeah.
expensive.
I mean, you saw mountains in Utah,
I
right?
did, and they were very cool. And I was like, look,
Wait, no,
mountains.
sorry. Not mountains. Does Utah have mountains?
Yes, Utah does have mountains. What is that mountain range?
Sometimes, okay, you understand me. You understand coming from a completely flat area and
Yeah.
living in a flat area all your life.
Uh-huh.
So when there is a very large hill that looks like it's roughly around the same size
Oh, yeah.
as a mountain, the mountains that are across your that are in the in your view, and you're like, what's that mountain? Actually a hill.
Oh,
I've mistaken mountain
no,
hills for mountains
same.
before.
When we were driving through the Appalachian Mountains, I was like, are these mountains? Are these
They
mountains? Like,
are.
they
They're
are,
just
but like,
really old.
I just didn't trust myself. I was like, oh, these are the mountains. I don't know mountains very well. I don't see mountains very often. But they were in fact mountains. What is the mountain range that goes through Utah?
There's so many mountains. There are so many mountain ranges in California. Holy crap. No wonder there's so many freaking endemic species.
That is, because I was thinking of the Rocky Mountains. So yeah, that is the Rocky Mountains. They go through Utah.
Really?
Yes. Because they start in Canada and they go all the way to like the tip of New Mexico. Is the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, you're right.
I had to double check because I know the Appalachian Mountains because that's we're in Ohio, but I don't
didn't
know.
see the Rockies in Utah, but I went when I was driving through Utah.
Mm-hmm.
It was so surreal, Theresa. You're driving through flat, like imagine you're driving through the desert.
Dude,
It is sand everywhere, and it's just flat sand everywhere. Because this is after you get past most of the national parks and the canyon areas, which actually have a lot of land formations. But then you hit a point where it's just sand and rock, like flat. And then all of a sudden you see in the distance the mountains. And it's like miles and miles away. It's another hour till you get there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the landscape's just completely changed. It's such a stark difference. Our country's beautiful. I really think our country's actually very beautiful. The land's just gorgeous.
Yeah. I loved seeing, I say loved, it was interesting watching Utah from a plane, just like, look at all those flat flats. It's just so flat. And then boom, mountains.
Also, like, there's so much of it that's unoccupied because you really can't live there.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, 12th night?
12th night. I'm okay with that. That's a good one. It's decently short, so...
It's a play. It's pretty short.
It's a play, so I want to say... Like, we could probably, if we really wanted to, put it into one episode, but honestly, I think 2. I'll have to look at the breakdown of it. It's been a while since I've actually looked at it.
I actually have it in my library downstairs, if you want me to quickly get it. And I have a feeling you're better at filling the silence than I am.
Yeah, that checks out. You can do that. You can go grab it. Now I have to fill the silence. I don't know what to talk about. My cats are yelling at me. I gotta feed them. Yeah? You're just sitting at the threshold of my office, just like, so you gonna come feed me? You go feed me? In a minute, we're gonna finish up the episode, and then I'm gonna go feed you guys. But yeah. And then they were done. Or 10 Little Indians. Got two titles. Like 12th Night, because 12th Night, or What You Will. And the or is part of that. So you have to add that in. Are you back?
Yeah. This is a chunky one.
Is it? Okay, it's been so long since I've read it.
I think it's my brother's old college textbook version of 12th Night.
Okay.
It's the, it's from St. Martin's Press. It's chunky. Like, because it's It's the text and the context. So there's probably a lot
Oh, yes. That stuff's
of
important.
essays in here.
Yeah.
So it's not just the
Yeah.
play. I have an. Let me look at the table of contents.
Yeah, it's
Do-do-do-do-do. Contents. Introduction. Part 1. William Shakespeare, Twelfth Night, or What You Will.
yup. It's got 2 titles.
Part 2. Cultural context. And cultural context is the majority of this book because Part 2 starts on page 113.
Fun.
So, minus the introduction, Twelfth Night is only 113 pages.
Yeah, so I feel like we could either try to squeeze it into one or we could split it into 2.
I think 2.
You think 2? Okay.
2's good.
Okay. That makes sense. I could do that.
Let's do 2.
Yeah.
That way we can do like, or. Okay. Well, we should split them into acts, first of all.
Yes. How many acts are there? Because I don't remember.
There's 5. There's
5
always
acts.
5 in Shakespeare.
Is there? So long since I've looked at
No.
this stuff.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's how it works either. I feel like maybe. Usually the 5-act structure is pretty famous for. I'm Google it. Yes.
Huh.
It was the convention to have the play always in 5 acts.
Interesting.
He made, in fact, he made the 5-act structure, like, standard. Like, it was a structure that pretty much defined his plays.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
let's see how. Alright.
I think I'm just used to the Greek playwright strategy of like 3 parts because because Greek is a 3-part structure.
Yeah.
My brain was still on Greek stuff from the Odyssey.
And to be honest, I think most series
Yeah.
are a lot of series I feel like are more successful as trilogies.
I think trilogies just work better. 5 just feels like a lot.
If you think about like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, a trilogy.
a 3-part structure. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Shameless plug for my favorite book of all time.
Yeah, it's not like it's got enough attention. Anyway, so we'll split
I think
it.
we should get more of the right attention.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the attention isn't serious.
Isn't serious enough.
People just need to love it the way that I do, Theresa.
Yeah. Totally, I get it.
Okay. In my humble opinion, in the very rough page counting that I have done,
Uh-huh.
I think we should read acts 1 and 2 the first week.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the acts the second week.
Okay. I like that.
Now we can, if you want to, if your copy has an introduction, we can sneak in the introduction the first week too.
Okay. That sounds good.
This has so much contextual essays.
Which are, like, important, because you want to get the extra context that is probably historically relevant. That's going to help make the jokes and the stuff make sense.
Here's the thing. I remember most of what we learned in high school regarding Shakespeare plays.
Same.
And middle school. middle school.
Yeah.
We started Shakespeare plays became part of the curriculum in my middle school.
Same.
And so, like, I remember most of the background behind that. So
Yeah.
when I'm reading an introduction, I'm like, I already know most of this.
Yeah.
Yes, this.
But our
Um,
readers may
and
not.
some of it's really helpful still. But it's so famous anymore that it's like I remember most of it, and I can kind of get the gist, what is supposed to be funny, because the English language has not Shakespeare is modern English,
It is, yeah.
and so even though some of the conventional vocabularies have changed,
Yeah.
it's you can kind of get the gist and the feeling pretty
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's really easy to translate Shakespeare into like our
I mean,
modern
it was
words.
written and performed in front of
The
every.
commoners.
It was both the commoner
The
and the
peasants.
aristocrat.
Yeah. It was made for everybody.
Mhm.
It's ready to eat for everybody. Even the weird plays where they eat cannibalism, you know?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's one about cannibalism.
Why?
I don't know. Ask Shakespeare.
You raise some. I'm not a necromancer, Teresa.
Well, okay, I'm blanking on which one it was. I'm just double checking. Um,
Okay, this is going to sound weird because I know it's a lot of people's like really like it's one of the most
yes, okay.
unpopular.
It's Titus
It's what?
Andronicus. Titus Andronicus.
Oh dear.
If you don't want to get into some really messed up stuff, um,
Thank you for telling me so I can read it.
it's real rough. Like, it's,
I have a problem with cannibalism. I think most people do.
yeah, no, I have a thing about it. It's worse. There's also, like, sexual assault and stuff. Like, it's a rough play.
To be
It's
fair,
definitely very dark.
In terms of essay,
Yeah,
this is the 1500s.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Like the 16th and 17th century aren't really known to have the best practices.
they weren't like big on consent, which is really unfortunate.
No. I
Cause
mean, haven't you read the Greek epics? That rule of law that it's always a
yeah,
woman's fault
yeah,
hadn't
yeah,
changed.
yeah. Except Calypso. Except Calypso. Apparently, she's fine.
That's true.
That was messed up. Anyway, yeah, yeah.
Well,
The essay
there's
is
a
one
hot
thing.
goddess.
Yeah, she can do what she wants. Sink her islands, what I want to do.
He also needed to like get his men changed from pigs.
That was
And
Cersei.
apparently, oh, that was Cersei?
That was Cersei. Cersei was the pigs.
He
She's
also
the
slept with Cersei, though, didn't he?
Cersei. Yeah, it depends on your translation, but yeah, it's heavily implied that they slept together.
No, it was pretty explicit.
Yeah, I would like to pretend it didn't happen, but yeah, yeah.
I get Cersei. Clearly, you can obviously tell I get
Yeah.
Cersei and Calypso mixed up.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like they got the sea names. They're both, magical
On
goddesses
islands.
on islands who don't mess with other people, like to
They
be
don't play by the
isolated.
rules.
They don't play by rules. They don't care. They'll do what they
Actually, that's not
want.
true. Cersei played by the rules, sorta.
She did, and Calypso did when she got told. And Hermes was like, "Stop that! Let him go." He's like,
Sorry.
"Alright, okay,
It's
fine,
not your plaything anymore.
fine. I'll let him go."
Um,
But the next guy that washes up on my shores, I'm keeping him. Can't make me give him back.
well, he has to be. Keep in mind,
Yeah,
Odysseus is super hot, so like the
yeah.
hotness factor is definitely to be considered.
Oh, absolutely. But
Because how are
to
you supposed
also
to
be
make a
considered
female
is
hot?
I know, but we should also be considering the marriage status, right? Like,
Oh, when you're a god,
you're
the marriage status doesn't
married.
matter.
Well, you would think so. You would certainly think so. Calypso did not care about the marriage status.
Neither did Cersei.
Neither did Cersei. No, no one cared. No one cared. I don't even know if he cared half the time. Which is messed
Yeah.
up. I don't like source material Odysseus. I like the musical version Odysseus. He's cool.
Yeah, speaking of that musical version,
Yeah, what's up?
um,
Hmm.
I'm very concerned.
About what? What were you concerned about? Because yeah, you texted. You're like, I'm worried about you, and I'm like, okay, you'll have to be more specific.
Okay, if this is the music you listen to all the time,
All the
the
time.
all the time,
All the time.
I listened through the whole thing once,
Yeah.
and I was just hit with this overwhelming feeling. Like it was just kind of pressing down on you.
Oh, really?
Like it was kind of depressed. I mean, obviously the Odyssey is not a happy book,
yeah.
but like, so I don't expect the musical version to be that happy.
Um,
But the emotion that was conveyed through it was not. It just affected me differently.
No, I get it. Like there's definitely some songs I do not listen to regularly, like Hold Them Down for obvious reasons. That one's a big bummer. But like Dangerous, I love that song. It's such a vibe.
There's still a level of melancholy
I don't know, man.
present throughout.
Hermes is real fun. He makes all of his songs interesting. It's so groovy.
There was a level of melancholy that I just felt present
Well,
throughout the whole
yeah,
thing.
everyone but him dies. It's a
Well,
big
even when he
bummer.
got back to the islands,
Yeah.
even in the last one when he reunited with his wife,
It was so sweet though. They're back and they're in
it
love.
was still like I don't know.
I
I just
cried.
didn't really feel the I
Okay,
had very
oh god,
different.
but the motifs, the way they all tied together.
I'm not saying it's not good. It was very well
So
done.
good.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not very well done. I
Yeah,
actually really appreciate it. Super appreciate it.
so good.
Super appreciate it.
So
Like
good.
it's very well done. I really enjoy the musical format
Mhm.
because I mean when you think about the Odyssey, it was originally sung.
Yeah. No.
I also
Obviously.
enjoy
Mhm.
how the artist was able to take it and put it into a linear structure, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And it was a different way of experiencing the book, and maybe because of that, it felt more pressing than usual.
Yeah. And I guess also if you've read the source material, you know what's happening. You know how this is
You
gonna go
do,
down.
and you know what's happening if you've read the source material, and I think it really did a good job of keeping the spirit of the source material.
It did. It did.
I'm really curious to see I actually don't know if I want to see the movie or not.
Yeah. Like I
Like, do I
don't.
really want to be that depressed again?
I also like as much as I love the soundtrack. I also like I don't know if I ever actually want to see this like put into a play, like an actual musical to perform.
Really? I actually kind of want to. If it were actually put into a musical format, I'd
Yeah,
actually want to go see it.
I would definitely go see it. Um, it would be really good.
I think that would be brilliant as a musical.
It would,
And not just as a musical
yeah.
concept album. Um,
I'm so
so
attached to like the
there's so many aspects
voices.
I think was cool
Yeah.
and well done, but the overall feeling it evoked in me was not good.
Oh man, I loved it. I feel happy when I
I know
listen to
you
it.
love it.
I feel very happy when I listen to the soundtrack. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I
This
love.
this is again, we have very
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying that it's not good. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's like
Yeah.
it's super good. I would actually
Um,
recommend it to people.
I was hanging out over the weekend with a friend who was helping them move, and she's She's also a big horror buff, so she's also really big into the horror genre, like I am. And
Okay.
she is also obsessed with the epic musical concept album. And so we were just sitting there just
I
talking about
know
how much we
horror
like
movies.
it. And we're like, woohoo. Yeah, I think there's some crossover. There's
It's
definitely some
so rare
crossover.
that we actually like the same thing for the same reasons.
It is. It is. And Warbreaker was
Like, it's not that like what
fantastic.
you don't like isn't good.
Yeah. Hey, everyone's,
I'm just like, oh my god, oh my gosh, I want to like keep up putting down like I really don't mean to be putting like sound like I'm putting this down. I actually think it's a
no,
very
no,
I
it's
actually think
fine.
it's a very good musical album, concept album, and I would recommend it, especially
Mm.
to just get into like if you don't want to read the Odyssey, just to get into the Odyssey and like get a
It'll
taste of like what the story
it'll
is.
hook you.
It's very well done. I
Yeah.
actually really I really think it's an accurate other than Odysseus kind of being more, having a conscience in the musical concept
Yeah,
album.
he's definitely more of a like I'm a good person
Okay, here's the thing.
until he kills
In the
everybody.
musical concept album, it's more that he has a moral good that he is constantly fighting against
Yeah.
because of what he wants.
Yes.
And that creates a lot of you can really feel the internal conflicts. And
Mm-hmm.
in the book, there really isn't as much of that internal conflict there. It's more
No.
of just he has a goal.
He
And there
does.
isn't this moral code that
Yeah.
he is debating against.
Yeah, he's kind of like I'll get home one way or another, and if that means I ditch my
And he
comrades.
obviously he didn't want to obviously he didn't want his men to die.
Yeah, but like
But like
also if that's the price, that's the price.
and you do see some level of conflict in how he leads them and what
Yeah.
choices he makes in order to successfully lead them. And you also see that he didn't make the right decision a
Yeah.
lot of the time.
Yeah, I
Like
feel
you
like
don't
yeah.
necessarily when he comes home, the a lot of the internal conflict is more the rage
Yeah.
of what the disgrace and
Yeah.
dishonor that happened to him. It
Yes.
wasn't his own it wasn't him and his own actions.
Yeah.
And in the musical concept album, he's considering his own actions and he's more empathetic.
Yes. Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
honestly, it's kind of a glow up.
Oh, it's 100% a glow up.
He's more of a dimensional character instead of. I've already said, I kind of think he's a flat character in
Oh,
the
he's
Odyssey.
so flat. Like I feel like
He's
in
not
this
okay, he's not
yeah.
super flat, but
But
he's pretty flat.
he's pretty one-dimensional and kind of boring. But
Everyone else around him is part of the
right?
function.
They're so interesting.
I think Telemachus is a better character. He kind of steals the show.
Telemachus, yes, he's like every time we like went back to his like current
We're
day with
like,
Telemachus, I was like, let's go. We're Telemachus.
but yeah,
Little baby
I
telemarketing.
that was interesting.
Yeah, I feel like if it was book accurate in the song Thunderbringer, when Zeus is like, "You are your men," book Odysseus would have been like, me, screw them, me. Like he wouldn't
I
even
don't
have
think it
like
would be, I don't think
considered.
okay, I don't think it would be that straight out,
I
but
do.
I
He's
don't.
kind of a tool. Like he saved his men from pigs, but I feel like that was more of a like pride thing. Like he was like, I can't let Cersei just take my men. How dare she? Bring them back.
I don't. Okay, I feel like
Bring them back.
that's going too extreme.
I don't know. I mean, I think he did care. Like, obviously he cared to some
There was a
degree.
certain level of care, but like
Because, like, they're his
also
men. But also, like, he's a king, man. He wanted to get home. I get it.
oh no.
I get
There is a
it.
complexity in the book, but I feel like it's more emotionally complex in the musical.
I think you also lose a little bit of it in the, like, back and forth with the timeline of the story and the fact that he tells stories within stories. Like, you do kind of get a little lost in what's happening, and so you don't get as much of his character as you get the people around him.
That's very true. I think that's actually very true.
Yeah.
And to kind of push back a little in what and contradict what I already said is when we see him when he shows up at that one mythical islands.
You know, the one that's not real. Scaria or whatever.
Wait, is that not most of the book?
Scaria, yeah.
Oh.
That very real
And
island.
he's very matter-of-fact in his retelling and recounting of the story.
Yeah.
Like, and that, I feel like that's why you don't necessarily have that much emotion from him, is like, it's kind of more...
It's kind of...
It's more matter-of-fact.
Yeah.
Than in his recounting and retelling.
Which is like...
And it really feels more like a confessional instead of like that internal struggle that you would expect to see. A lot of it was more in his actions and in his appearance when he comes to the island. That you have to infer that kind of emotional complexity rather than just the words that he says.
Yes.
There's a lot of, like, if you want the emotional complexity, you really have to look at it in the subtext. And,
you do.
But, like, that would be my main pushback to my own arguments.
Yeah. I'd also, like, I think it's very funny and somewhat irritating the way that Odysseus says so much and yet so little at the same time. Like, he's so long-winded, but then he'll, like, the ultimate point is, like, you could have said that in, like, 2 lines. Did you need to add all that extra 2 pages of words? No, you didn't.
No.
Like, you've told us nothing. It's kind of irritating.
It is irritating.
Yeah. And you think, you're like, hey, he's talking a lot, so he's got a lot to say. It's like, nah, not really. He really doesn't. He just likes to hear himself talk.
Odysseus, which means he's the man.
And he's gonna keep talking, and you're gonna let him, because it's Odysseus.
Well, you're not gonna tell him. It also kind of goes to show that a lot of the power
of words
the kingship is in words and persuasion rather than just might.
And that was like his jam. He was a brain guy. He's about coming up with plots and schemes.
Keep in mind, he was the total package.
I mean, he was hot. He got pretty hair. He was tall.
And
he was
could
smart.
slaughter men like no other.
Like, he's really good with a bow and arrow. He loves his wife.
He has a pretty kick-ass son.
His son's really cool.
Despite him not being there to raise
that was something about it.
That
was something about his son I wanted to bring up. Telemachus. So there is, and please fact check me on this.
Okay.
But
I don't know how well I can fact check you.
I do believe there are some little snippets of translations and like little stories out here and there from different people. And again, keep in mind, right, all of like Greek myth is like a million different people's retellings. So like there is no right. Right, it makes it very interesting, but there is no like right, like this is how the story went. It's all kind of all over the place. But there are some stories out there that suggest that Odysseus fathered children with Circe. And that... Oh, no, wait, I'm thinking this other way around. I'll have to look it up. But there was something about Telemachus... Or was it that Telemachus had kids with Circe? It was so weird. I have to look this up.
I don't like that version.
Right? It was like, I remember reading it somewhere and being like, no, you're wrong.
Some of these versions, it's like, why would you...
You're wrong.
It's like scrolling through fan fiction and being like, why would you do that pairing?
Why would you want that ship? Why? Not me screaming every time I see House of Dragons. Why?
Oh my god.
Why? Why does everyone want this chick and her uncle to be together?
Wait, what?
That's like all House of Dragons is. It's justification.
Oh,
It's justification for incest. Their whole thing is that they're like, we have to keep the
okay,
bloodline
seriously? I
together.
thought you left the whole incest trope behind in the early 2000s.
No, 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 no. It's so big. It's so big. Everyone loves it, and they're really, really die hard committed to
Oh, that's so
this
fucked up.
uncle
Oh,
niece
no,
relationship.
no, no.
Did you look it up?
I don't want to.
Yeah, don't. I've not seen
I don't want
any of
that
House of
on my
Dragons.
search engine.
Right, I've never seen House of Dragons, right? But I've seen a lot of random snippets about it online, and I just so many people love it, and I'm like, why? That's her uncle by blood. This isn't even like they're related some other way. Like that is her father's, or actually I don't know what side of the family it's on,
Okay.
but that is her blood uncle.
Oh, blood uncle. Okay.
They are related
I was
by
about to say,
blood.
if it's related by marriage, that's still extremely gross.
Still super
but
gross.
At least less incestual.
No, they are 100% blood related, and that's the point, is they gotta keep the dragon blood in the Tigerian family line. Like, that's the whole thing.
God. Bro, did we learn nothing from the ancient Egyptians?
To be fair, this is all fiction,
No,
based
but
on
it's
history.
Based off of history.
It's based off of history, and they were really big on incest.
Everyone know, it's like, Game of Thrones is based off of the War of the Roses.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something I discovered about myself, and it's not just I really just don't care to read Game of Thrones. One time I thought about it because it was so popular, and I love Lord of the Rings, so obviously, like, the next...
Yeah, high fantasy is great, love it.
High fantasy series, and I asked my dad, because my dad read them, and he's super... When my dad says, I don't think you'll like this, it's not a sexist thing, he just genuinely knows my reading taste, and, like, you wouldn't like this book. You just won't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because one time, he worded it in a way that made me think, oh, you're just saying that because I'm a girl. And then I read the book and I'm like, oh.
I should have listened.
Right. I really don't like this book. I don't want to read it.
Yeah, I watched season 1. Ned Stark died at the end of season 1, and I decided that was it. That was the show. It's done. He was the only person I cared about. I like Sean Bean. He's dead now, and roll credits. Yeah. That's the extent of Game of Thrones that I have consumed.
But honestly, okay, this is something I discovered about myself. I don't really care for historical fantasy. I don't know what it is about historical fantasy that just makes me kind of bored.
Like, I just want fantasy. If I wanted history, I'd read history. Give me fantasy.
And I don't knock that there aren't themes to be explored.
Oh, yeah.
When putting history in a fantastical context, or having something influenced by history.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of my D&D stuff was influenced by history.
Yeah, and you can do it in a way that you know...
There's a balance.
There's a balance.
And a lot of times when things are too, like, historically accurate, it really turns me off.
Yeah, and that's to say that, like, not that Game of Thrones is a bad book series. It's just not our thing.
Oh, no.
It's just not our taste. Yeah, it's just not our taste.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Also, there is something about... There's only so much of the women's condition that I can take, and I know that sounds weird coming from someone who is cis woman.
Yeah.
Like, cause like when I read oh gosh, what's the book? It's by Guy Gavriel Kay.
I don't know.
It's All Under Heaven. And it's not like it's bad writing. It's actually very good writing. And that says something when I say that about a modern fantasy book. But I had just come out of reading Anna Karenina, and Anna Karenina is a lot about how society treats women.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about a lot about sin and adultery as well, and what that does to relationships, and then also the wider context of Russian society and the
Yeah.
shift in Russian society that was happening at the time. There's so many facets to this book. It's a very good book. But a lot of Anna Karenina is like, it's a lot about women's condition and how women had no rights. A lot of the power of the woman came through sex and marriage.
Yeah.
And there's only so much of that I can take before I'm just like, oh, I get it. It sucked. Can we move on?
Yeah. No,
And
I
then
feel
I
that.
went to read a book that was based in historical fantasy, specifically Asian historical fantasy. And so you have like concubines
Yeah.
and buying women concubines. And a lot of the power of the concubine comes through having sex. And
Are you
it's a lot
talking
of
about this because you watched A Pie the Carrie Diaries?
what?
Sorry, we're talking about this now because you watched Apothecary Diaries.
Well, it reminded me of it, but I
Yeah.
actually really liked Apothecary
Oh,
Diaries.
so good, so good.
It's actually a very good show. I haven't really been into anime since college, and it was the first anime that I watched in a long time, and I loved it. But there's a lot of reasons why I loved it, and honestly, this aspect of the show really kind of was a drawback for me.
Yeah, it was like one thing. Like, every time they went to like the
Brothel.
the brothel. There we go. I was like, I can't find the freaking word. The brothel. I was like, oh right. God damn. Ugh, sucks, huh?
But also,
Oh.
the people who were her family essentially were
Yeah.
so lovely,
They were so
and
sweet.
there was such a genuine matter of factness to that,
Like,
to
yeah,
what was happening.
like this is our way of life. This is what we do.
But also there was you kind of see this in like memoirs of a geisha. It's like there's a certain level of women were so restricted
Oh
that
yeah.
when you do live that lifestyle, there's a certain level of freedom that
Mm-hmm.
you're allowed to have. And
Yeah.
but again, I had a break.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had a significant break from Anna Karenina between Anna Karenina and Apothecary
Yeah.
Diaries.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I can kind of deal with it a little better. But
Uh-huh.
now it's like but now I need another break because I'm like, ugh, I get it. Women had it rough.
They
We
did. They did. Which is kind of
it's so
why I
and then-
recommended the books I did. Because I was like, let's empower women a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little
Really?
bit.
That's
Just
what
a
you
little
thought?
Just a little
Have you
bit.
read the Bronte sisters?
I have. And you know what? That Jane Eyre's a weird one, I'll admit. It's just the first one I thought of.
It's gracious.
I know. I don't know why, because I know it's not. But Jane Eyre is a comedy in my head. I know it's not a comedy, but it is because it's so absurd. It's so absurd to
think
me that I'm like, it's got to be a joke.
I think that's hilarious, actually. That is definitely the most unique view I have ever heard about Jane Eyre.
I know, and I think that's why I get mixed up.
It's like, I think what also kind of just gets me down the most is seeing the similarities between a time when women had no rights to modern day when we have rights, but the attitude towards women is still very similar.
Still very, yeah, because then you're like, well, do we have these rights or do we have the guise of
there's
the
no
rights?
question that we have those rights.
I mean, legally, yes, but
it's more a matter of how much progress really happens.
Yeah.
Like, is this really considered progress? Yeah. And then it's just, you kind of get a little depressed.
You get a little bummed out.
Yeah. So I need a solid couple months break between between media that I consume about women in history.
That makes sense. Well, we're gonna read Twelfth Night. It's got some fun stuff. It's got some cross-dressing. It's got cross-dressing, which we love. Yeah, it'll be good. We'll have a good
Oh,
time.
speaking of Shakespeare, I went and saw the Anne Juliet play, and I would
Oh
100% recommend.
yeah. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll
Or,
see
no,
if it's
it's not a play,
coming.
it's a musical. It's
Yeah.
like a musical, kind of like how Mamma Mia centered it around ABBA. This musical centered it around early 2000s music, but
Oh,
like
weird.
it's
Okay.
if Juliet never died.
Yeah.
And then the whole musical, it's like kind of breaking the fourth wall because Shakespeare and his wife are
Yeah.
narrating and rewriting the play. It's really well done. I actually
Yeah.
really like it. It's fun too.
Yeah. I'll have to see if it's going to be showing anywhere near me anytime soon, because, yeah, I would love to go see a fun musical and have a good time.
It was a good time.
Alright.
And there was cross-dressing.
Oh,
So,
we love cross dressing.
well, it's Shakespeare. You gotta have
Shakespeare.
cross-dressing.
You gotta have cross dressing in Shakespeare. Alright.
Women weren't allowed to be actors.
Okay. Um,
So that is just circling that conversation all around.
Yep. Alright. Well, I need to go feed my cats. And we
I
need to get ready
need
for
to.
another thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we'll read 12th Night Act 1 and 2. And we will see everybody next time.
Bye.
Bye. Happy reading.